Anything that doesn't have balls in it is probably healthier.
That's what they say. That's what the lesbians say.
My name is Faye Lane, and I'm here with Ophira Eisenberg. We're here from New York City. I'm originally from Texas.
I'm originally from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But yeah, we both live in New York and met each other through the New York storytelling scene, which brings us strangely to a documentary film festival. You may ask why.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating. But Mika... Yes, he started a storytelling show based on what is happening in New York that he loved, and basically thought, well, I mean, documentary films making is actually all about the story. So he thought this was it is a huge movement in New York. He started here, but he is so interested in getting people to really understand and appreciate what this is, and talk to Casper, and Casper thought it was a great match because it's like the lowest production value but like huge entertainment value of where documentaries start. It's like it starts with the story. So we are doing live storytelling. Stories fit for an audience, unlike, I don't know, therapy or confession or diary reading. It's crafted stories about our lives that are true for a presentation tonight.
I am actually a flight attendant, or as I like to say, stewardess. And it actually really serves my storytelling because unfortunately in America the arts are horribly underfunded. Actually, not funded at all. It's all privately funded, and it's just horrific.
Oh yeah, and whatever your government is doing right now is wrong. You've no idea what it's like to be an artist in America. You're screwed.
Extremely difficult. So most creative people have day jobs to support their creative careers, and so I chose being a flight attendant because it allows me to travel to other cities to perform, because most theaters cannot afford to bring you to their theater to perform. I have to go on my own, and now being a stewardess, I can accept jobs in other cities that pay very little because I can get there for free. But most artists don't have that luxury. It's a huge problem in America, underfunding.
Yeah. And I don't have a day job for about 3 years. I'm a stand-up comedian. I make most of my money through stand-up and writing. And then the storytelling thing is my love. It's a departure from stand-up. Although you can be totally funny in a story, but it's different form. But right now it's such a new scene and it's very exciting. But it's there's no money in it.
Yeah. Well, I think it mostly started with the Moth, which is a not-for-profit storytelling organization that started having these story slams, which is sort of like a poetry slam. I don't know if you're familiar with
they have
that
judges in the crowd, in the audience. People are given numbers and people tell their stories and they rate them. I mean, it's not supposed to be like...
It's not a competition, really.
2.0! Like, it's supposed to be just a way to kind of anchor the night. Yeah. I think they are told that they're not allowed to give anyone a score under 7 or something like that. It's not really supposed to be like, take you down! Your life sucks! Your story about your life is stupid!
Your mother is horrible! No, but there's usually a theme, or there's almost always a theme for the evening, and people tell stories around a theme, and these story slams gave birth to lots of other story shows with all different clever themes. Ophira co-produces one called You Went to College for That, which is stories of people, I guess you could...
Oh yeah, it's basically you have to weave into your story, which can be about anything, about 1 or 2 minutes of something that you learned in your college education that influenced your story. Like maybe what you learned about interpretations of Cupid that then you remembered when some girl, told you that she wouldn't be with you. It's just weird. Other people have stories about like the greatest risk you ever took, different things. But one day there was the Moth and they did these slams, and big main stage shows often was kind of celebrities telling stories, which was fascinating. And then the next day, within a few years, there's I don't know, 20, 30 storytelling shows running, and there's podcasts, and the podcasts are listened to around the world.
They are, and it's hugely popular because you'll have an incredibly well-established writer or artist, like someone like Malcolm Gladwell or Adam Gopnik or Garrison Keillor next to a hairdresser or a firefighter or a school teacher, and all the stories are equally fascinating.
Yeah. And there's this thing
exciting.
about these true stories that people seem to have a huge appetite for right now.
Yeah.
Like they're like, tell me the truth about your life. You know, it's some sort of well-crafted package meant for an audience, but yeah, it's just, it's something, I mean, at some point we keep talking about, like, it's going to change.
Yeah.
Something will happen. I don't know what it is, but right now it's just super exciting.
It is exciting. And New York is so diverse that you can hear 10 completely, radically different stories in one evening around one central theme. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I think people always, but right now especially, are looking for meaning, you know, and when you craft a story, the way you tell a story is looking for the why. What happened and why, you know, and people who gravitate towards story are people who are looking for the meaning in life.
Yeah, I also think it's a smart, like, it really draws a smart crowd, and it's kind of a little bit of a more intellectual thing in New York. I think a lot of the people who are New Yorkers stopped going to stand-up comedy clubs, for example, because they just thought it was for the tourists, and it was sort of, a lot of it was dumb, or maybe it was racist or sexist, or like a lot of things they were just not interested in. So it is this amazing, like, really smart crowd that wanted something more entertaining than reading, you know, not really poetry, and it's like this perfect package. And also I think, you know, because we all sit behind computers all the time, we're more and more alienated from each other. So this is like a way for us to kind of reconnect.
And it's such a diverse evening too, because you'll have a hilarious story next to a heartbreaking story, next to an amusing little anecdotal story, and it's amazing the variety of entertainment you get in one show.
Yeah,
it's really
a
exciting.
lot to chew on. Yeah, really, I mean, from the slams and just watching a lot of storytelling and being part of the scene, the thing that I've noticed, which I think is the coolest thing about it, is what works the best is if you just tell the truth.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to do that. It's almost impossible to learn how to tell the truth.